You're listening to The Silver Stoner Show.
Hey, dudes and dudettes, it's me, Uncle Herb, and this is another edition of The Silver Stoner, where we are redefining what it means to be a stoner, a little less Pineapple Express, a little more the Dow, you know? Just be open, be creative, listen to other people. Let's not judge every fucking thing that everybody has to say. And the words Republican and Democrat are forbidden in this space, but we can talk about anything. Now, as you know, I always put up the 5 tenets of how to be a silver stoner, and they're up on the screen right now. But for the time being, we're going to only talk today about one of them. My property is mine. And in the context that I wanted to discuss this with you briefly is I believe that government, and when I say that, state and local, federal, I'm just a generic term, right, left, every party, every side, is turning our middle class into peasants. Now, what do I mean by turning our middle class into peasants? Because without private property, you are effectively a landless serf or a possessionless serf or peasant. And even though you think you own your house, ask yourself a question. Can you do anything you want with it? Or do you have to go to zoning boards? And you have to go through city approvals, and you have to go through all kinds of commissions and have inspectors out and people. And then let's not even forget your HOA that tells you, which is just another form of government that tells you what you can do with your house. So it's not really your house. It's the house you're paying for while other people tell you what to do with it. Effectively, your property is not your own. That is not, if you paid for it, it's yours. And do we really need to tell people how to, and I used houses as an example, but do we really need to tell people how to use their own property? Would a person really paint his house fluorescent green next to all of his other neighbors that weren't, unless he wanted to have all the neighbors shoot him? He probably wouldn't. It is unnecessary to go through these things. It is a restriction on your free use of property, and that goes to everything, including property, for example, that you buy. So if I buy, and we're going to talk more about this later, a little weed, but I'm still regulated into how much I can have, how I can use it, when I can use it, where I can use it, in what form I can use it, if I can carry it across state lines, to which state lines I can carry it to, pay taxes, pay excise taxes, pay internal fees. Am I really owning my property, or am I under the illusion I bought it, but I'm really being regulated by a state who is treating me like a peasant because they think I'm too dumb to know what to do with my own body and my own property? And you know where I come down on that issue, my friends, my fellow stoners. We do not tell anyone what to do with what's theirs. Once it's yours, it's yours. And as stoners, we believe in prosperity. We don't buy that envy bullshit. There's plenty for everybody. Okay, so let's stop worrying about what everybody else has and how they should use it and just worry about ourselves and stop turning everybody else into a peasant. Okay, enough serious shit. So all you guys know that Bill Gates, God bless him. I don't even know Bill Gates. What the fuck? But Bill Gates is getting divorced from his wife, Melinda, and evidently this is going to be one expensive fucking divorce. But then again, if you have $180 billion, his current approximate net worth, if you end up with $90 billion, what the fuck, right? I mean, my advice to Bill is give her the 90 and move on because you're never going to run out of money at 90. Okay. Now, where was I? What was I talking about? Oh, I just saw this because I thought it was great. So I'm through Seth Rogen. I'm going on to loving sweets is a sign of dementia. So as it turns out, there's a study that says as you get older, if you really enjoy eating sweets, and there's an example they give, if you're the kind of person that would sit down and eat a tub of ice cream, it could be a sign of early onset dementia. And as I read this, the reason I included this is because I think I'm fucked. Because I have a thing for ice cream, in particular, mint chip ice cream or Cherry Garcia. Yes, and I think I ate some mint chip ice cream. You know, but I could have forgotten that. I don't know. But you know when you go to the store, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a Safeway shopper. So like on Wednesdays, they come out with the flyer, and sometimes they'll have on a good brand of ice cream, like, I don't know, Breyers or Haagen-Dazs or something for like 79 cents for a half a gallon. And I tell myself I'm going to buy the mint chip and I'm going to take it home and like scoop it out for 3 days. And then I'm sitting there and I play that game. First tell myself, I don't really want to scoop it out. It's a little hard. I'll just sit and eat it with a spoon, but I'll put it back after a few. And then you go, well, maybe a little further, maybe a little further. Then the next thing you think, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to eat the whole goddamn thing and skip dinner, right? So I think I have dementia. I don't know. I think I'm fucked. Anyway. I don't know why I brought that up either. It just seemed funny to me. Next, Miss Universe goes political. The winner of Miss Universe last night, after missing a year due to COVID, was Miss Mexico. She was hot, and to her credit, did not do anything of the reason why I'm bringing this story up, because half the contestants were trying to teach social justice. We had the LBGTs and we had the transgenders and all that. And I like it. Look, guys, I'm a stoner. I don't give a shit what you do. I don't think really God gives a fuck about your genitalia or your skin pigment. And I think you should be able to do whatever you fucking well please with your own body, as you well know. But as I said earlier, there is entertainment and there is school. I do not go to school to be entertained. I do not go to my entertainment to be schooled. And the people watching Miss Universe are basically horny old men who are like me, trying to watch pretty girls. And really, whose mind do you think you're changing schooling them? I mean, in all seriousness, it's like the last place a dirty old man can go for a little innocent pleasure, and we got to be taught shit that we already know. Stop. Entertainment industry, you're going to put yourselves out. I'm just telling you, in a free market world, things will spring up to replace you that'll be a lot more interesting. By the way, have you tried VR yet? Have you guys tried virtual reality? Okay. I had my first experience. It was my birthday, guys, last Friday. I was 64 last Friday. And my daughter's boyfriend is an engineer and brought over his VR thing. And the first thing, and it was wild. I had a wonderful time, but I right away said to myself, someone's going to be really rich on VR porn. Jesus Christ, what an experience. Now, I did not share that with my daughter, but I share it with you. Wow, Jesus. And as the technology gets better and better, you can see, I'm worried that no one's going to ever want to go to work, and the lobby, never mind. I could go, almost went right down to, you were supposed to stop me there, Techmaster.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, all right. All right, enough fucking news. I'm all done with the news today, I think. Yeah, I'm all done with the news. No más. No más noticias y ahorita algo diferente. Okay.
What about some great advice?
Let me give you some fucking great advice. Okay. Here comes some, now I got to get serious. I just can't do it. Okay, but seriously, the big one is coming in soon. Look, guys. Inflation is rearing its ugly head, okay? And this is a moment of seriousness. Now, some of you who have watched me all along, and the show just has come on, so some of you, it means like nobody knows this, but I have a very long financial background. Some of it extremely damaging that landed me in the slammer, but some of it, for the 40 years prior, managed billions of dollars, was pretty good at it. So having told you that, too much money chasing too few goods leads to inflation, okay? And I'm not going to get into it you're not here to be taught, so I'm not going to teach. I'm just going to give you some straight out tell you. Everyone who goes to a grocery store now knows that inflation is back, right? Everything that's, for example, touches a corn cob, is from gasoline to the corn in the store to everything that has a sweetener in it, is all getting more expensive. Everyone noticing that? I mean, and the government's saying inflation is running at 6%, but that's because they fuck with the numbers. And the chart that we're putting up for you now is a chart that shows you if they were still counting inflation as they did in the 1990s, they being the government. But even that was a lie. So it was twice, right? They're saying it's 6%. It's really, according to the 1990s numbers, around 12%. And the real number is probably closer to 15 to 20% because the government purposely tries to monkey with the numbers. Now, what inflation means is, in plain English, is that you're going to soon find out that holding on to money, you have to get rid of it as fast as you can because it's losing value so quickly. In other words, if you don't spend it and you don't get some goods to show for your money, your only other alternative is to invest it at extremely high-risk things because the higher the return, the higher the risk. And this is how we end up back in the 1970s, which is what I think we're replaying now on steroids. And I believe that right at this moment, we are in what I would call an Indian summer, which is that nice, how it, and of course, living in Arizona, we don't really ever experience this, but I lived part of my childhood in Pittsburgh, and you go into the winter, and it would be really, really cold and freezing, and suddenly you'd have a beautiful week. That was always called the Indian summer. I don't know where that term comes from. I don't think it's pejorative to Indians, but if it is, I don't give a shit, really. I mean, I'm not going to monitor my every fucking word, to take no offense. But having said all that, that's what we're in. This looks like, you can't turn off an economy and turn it on like a switch. Only the hubris, that's your word for today. Hubris is arrogant belief that you have more smarts than you think you do and control more than you think you do. And the government is full of people who, when they look in the mirror, see the President of the United States, some of them even see Abe Lincoln and George Washington, and these people have hubris to fucking spare, and they're there thinking they can turn off the economy when COVID starts and turn it back on again. Fuck that. This is a disaster. This is going to make the last depression look like a walk in the park. So I repeat to you advice I've given before, and I'm going to repeat it to you again. Gold, silver, crypto. Gold, silver, crypto. Now talk to your own advisors. Talk to the people that you trust. Buy it wherever you want to buy it. I have no conflict of interest. By the way, don't buy it from the people you see on TV like Roslyn Capital, because to pay for all those fucking ads, they got to build 32% expenses into the front end. If you're going to buy gold, buy it from a dealer that's, not marking it up ridiculously. But I don't want to corrupt my advice by telling you where to go, and it's your money and do whatever you want. But listen to me. Gold, silver, crypto. And if you don't do what I'm telling you, and borrow as much money as you possibly can and invest it in gold, silver, and crypto. And you know why I know how crazy that sounds, but these 3% interest rates, when inflation is running 12%, means that you are gaining 9% on your debt every year, even if it holds steady. Do you understand? Inflation is the friend of the borrower, okay? It's the enemy of the saver, which is why it's so destructive long term, but why even in a depression, smart people can get rich. Now, if you go along with the herd, the masses are asses, guys. Don't do what everybody says. You can make a living going in the opposite direction of what everybody thinks. I'm just saying, okay? Throwing it out there. That's the end of my advice for today. Everyone happy with that? No, I don't give a shit. Now we're going to go to one more thing I wanted to point out. The reason all this is going to happen, and it's going to happen so soon, you've heard of the greatest generation, the guys that came out of World War II. We're the immoral generation. Let me tell you what's going to happen as sure as God made little green apples. Okay, the baby boomers, the millennials, the Gen Z, all of us have been borrowing trillions and trillions of dollars from future generations to finance it's one thing to borrow money to build a dam or build a highway or some kind of a hospital, a school, right? That's one thing. But that's not what we're borrowing money for. We're sending stimulus checks and paying people to be unemployed more than they could make if they were working, and we're calling things infrastructure that are all bullshit, and we're pumping money into industries that we favor, and more people are getting rich by feeding at the public trough than in private industry. It's just a big, horrible mess, and we're borrowing it all from the future. And we have a $28 trillion national debt and a $200 trillion unfunded means there's no way we can fucking pay for it. Social Security and Medicare payment coming up. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to default. And there's only two ways that we're never going to pay it back. This much money doesn't exist. It's like, and there are assholes, and when I say assholes, really stupid assholes, that think that we can sell off the national assets of the United States, like the parks. Who's going to buy Yellowstone? Okay, that's bullshit. It's like saying that I own the Mona Lisa, and if I need money, I can sell it. To who? That's why they call those things priceless. There is no they're so expensive, they can't be sold. There's no one to buy them, okay? Get real, okay? No one's going to buy Yellowstone. So we owe $228 trillion, and we're doing our best to get up to 250 as fast as we can. This is untenable. So there's only two things that are going to happen, and both of them are default. We're either going to default from inflation, or we're going to outright do what Argentina did and say, fuck it. And I'm in favor of that, by the way, because the smart thing to do would be to just default, because the important things will still be there. The factories, the farms, the technical know-how, the intellectual property, all the real assets don't go anywhere in a default. Okay, the people that get fucked are all the people that finance this. And most of those people got rich sloughing at the public trough. Who holds most of that debt outside of the Federal Reserve, and fuck them, are they're not even companies. They're people like the government contractors and industries that fix it, and people that are taking advantage of the general public. Fuck them, default them, but we're not.
Wrap it up.
Thank you, sir. I went too long, didn't I, on that shit? Okay, you get it. Run fast, gold, silver, crypto, we're out. Okay, let's go to the interview. Woo-hoo! Okay, so last week, guys, before my birthday, I was at my local park with my dog, Pepper. And Pepper and I were just walking around doing what Pepper does, and we were going towards my car, and there were a few guys standing around with Frisbees because there's a Frisbee golf thing. And Pepper went up to them, and I said something like, don't worry about her. She's really, really friendly, and she really, really is really, really friendly. You guys know that my Pepper wouldn't hurt a flea. And one of the guys happened to be sitting next to me right now. One thing led to another, and we both found out we're stoned. I said she's really laid back, and someone said that's because she reflects her owner, and I said because her owner is constantly stoned. And then the next thing I knew, I got this wonderful tube. Actually, not this one, because I smoked the one that I got, to be perfectly honest. But I got this great sample, because it turns out it was a a salesman, my friend Aaron and his friend Tim right next to him over here, who sell for Tierra Grow, okay? And as you know, all growers are state by state by state. This is a big one in our state with great products. And God willing, when this stuff goes national, you'll be able to get this everywhere. But in the meantime, if you're in Arizona or running through Arizona or have a chance, you're going to love it. So these are my guests. Aaron, Tim, Tierra Grow. Totally, we met each other. It was synchronicity, you know?
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
It was
meant to be. So we were talking before, and I don't want to take words out of your mouth, and I've already shared my story with the crowd and how I came to share how you came to sell. I think it's the dream of at least half the stoners out there to be in the industry.
It's definitely the dream, and I've never imagined that I would do it legally because I did it illegally for so long.
Dare I ask you how old you are, Aaron?
Guess. That's always a fun game.
40-ish.
40-ish. That's dead on. I'll be 40 in December.
Okay. By the way, you know what the secret is to age guessing? Only look at the eyes.
It's these damn crow's feet.
Well, that's how I knew you were 40-ish and not 30-ish. and you're not gray enough to be an old fucker like me, right? You know, and you guys are millennials. My oldest son, by the way, is 40, and my oldest daughter is 42. How old are you, Tim?
I'll be 49.
You hide your age well. Your eyes do not give that away. I would have put you at about 42. So you look great, Tim.
Nice.
Rock on. Rock on, man. Okay, so...
Great products. Just a lot of smiling because I don't care.
That's what I blame my crow's feet on, is all the weed. My constant smile and smirk is just...
Okay, so I got to share with you. Eric, don't stop me from telling this joke. Why do I'm Jewish. I'm allowed... Here.
He's allowed to.
He's OG.
Okay, I'm a Jew OG. Okay. Now, so I'm allowed to... Why do Jewish girls have crow's feet? You want me to suck? What? Okay, never mind. Sorry. But leave the joke in, Tech Mastery.
I love it.
That might have been a little... No, I don't think that was... Never.
Nah.
Okay, so you were... And, of course, the statute of limitations has run out now. So we can talk about...
I'm way outside the statute of limitations. So, I sold marijuana illegally since I started smoking it. Because I couldn't afford to buy it.
How young were you when you started smoking it?
I was 16 when I first started smoking.
How about you, Tim?
I was probably near 20, right after in college.
Were you did your parents fill you full of reefer man, this bullshit, and that's why you had to wait till you were 20?
No, my parents were cool as can be.
Were they cool?
Yeah, they used to buy alcohol in high school as long as you didn't take your car.
I was one of those parents, too. Yeah. You know, I had shared custody of my kids with my ex-wife, and we had the world's friendliest divorce. So the kids would go back and forth between the houses. Anyway, when my youngest son turned 16, it was the younger two kids. The older ones were already grown and out. When my younger son turned 16, it just didn't occur to me that he was driving. I don't know why. It just didn't. Anyway, I used to only smoke my weed at home when I knew the kids weren't going to be there. And one night I just got absolutely ripped, set the alarm on the house, went to bed. And of course, I hear that beep, beep, beep. I get up and there's my kids. So from that point forward, we smoke pot together. You know, and now my whole family is a bunch of stoners. I mean, we talk to each other. We're all anyway.
It definitely brings families together. Like my whole family, majority of them were like Christian churchgoers.
Christians get stoned.
They didn't have a problem with me smoking or whatever. They knew I was me. I was still a good person. I just like to smoke weed.
Well, you know, I mean, not to be. Look, I'm not a Christian. Obviously, I'm Jewish. But just in the theist, it's a natural. It's literally weed. I mean, you can obviously grow it and refine it and make it a lot better. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I mean, it's literally weed. Why would God have a problem with it? I mean, you could have picked it off a tree and smoked it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure that's how it was first discovered.
If you could smoke apples, Adam and Eve probably would have smoked the apple.
Well, apples make it.
You can smoke out of the apple.
I was going to say, I learned in prison that makes a great bong.
It does.
It makes a great bong. You know, the pen in the top, the pen in the side.
Yep. Super easy. Maybe a little tin foil on the top.
Get that nice little apple flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right. So, you were dealing for years.
Yeah. I'd sold weed on the street for, I don't know, a long time. Very long time.
Did you ever get clipped?
No. Actually, I have a couple good stories about getting close, though. The one that sticks out the most is I was probably 17, so I was still in high school. I always kept all my weed in my car because I couldn't let my parents find it. So I just drove around with a pound or 2 pounds or 3 pounds in my trunk all the time.
How did you keep the smell down?
Bag.
Yeah. Back in that day, did we even know that we could wrap them in dryer sheets to knock it down? Did we know that shit?
No, I don't think I did that. I think I just did like multiple Ziplocs. And
dryer sheets will defeat a dog unless the dog is right on it.
Yeah.
Okay, just throwing it out there. Okay, so anyway.
But so I probably had a pound in my trunk, and we were up by Desert Ridge, and I need to turn around. I need to flip a bitch. I'd missed my turn. And so I was following this car, and we're at the light to flip a bitch, but there's a sign, no U-turns. Like, shit, we can't turn left, or we can't do a U-turn here, so we got to turn left and just come back around, whatever. But the car in front of me does a U-turn. So I'm like, fuck it, he did it. I'm going to do it too. Cop.
Ugh.
Right there. Boo! Lights us up. I'm like, fuck. I slow down. He zooms around me and gets the first guy who did the U-turn first.
Oh, thank God.
I was like,
By the way, on our last show, we had Tom Dean, the marijuana lawyer. He actually publishes, what does he call that, Eric? The glove box, what? Glove box attorney? Is that what it is? Glove box lawyer? Glove box lawyer. Glove box lawyer. Okay, he publishes, you can go to his website, and we have the link. He actually publishes a checklist of what you do if you're arrested with too much pot. Okay, and how do you can basically foil almost anything and stay the hell out of. I mean, seriously, it's great. I don't want to speak for him, but it's great. Okay, keep going. So Tim, how about you? What were you doing? Were you selling pot?
I was my. I don't know how much he wants to know.
Yeah, go into the whole story
as long
about
as you're
how we
outside
got
of 7
started.
years, you can't go to jail.
Yeah,
so
no.
go ahead.
Well, Tierra Girl, my brother and I started growing way back in the day because my sister had cancer. So
I'm sorry.
We actually started for the right reason.
It's all the right reasons. We're stoners here, man. It's all the right reasons.
But that's why we started doing it and helping my sister with her cancer.
May I ask what kind?
Colon.
And how'd she? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
That is.
Yeah, but yeah, we
Did
started for the.
Did it give her relief? Did she feel better?
She did feel much better. So we started it for that reason, and then it just grew and like everything. But it grew, and then Tierra Grow became a real business.
Did the state make you jump through a lot of hoops to convert and from what was to what is?
The state never knew about the other one.
So they never asked. Were you growing in the same places, or did you
No.
build? Oh, you built all new grow houses and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing inside, you guys are.
Yeah, all indoor.
I was just curious. I mean,
Yeah.
okay. So let's talk a little product stuff.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We brought you.
Okay, I'm just gonna go-
amount of treats.
I'm going in no particular order. So this is one of the. It's called the Core Concentrate.
Yeah, Core is our concentrate company. So we have Core is the concentrates. Tierra Grow is going to be our flower, and then Mockingbird is going to be our other main brand, which is our edibles and topicals.
What would you say is your competitive edge that you would want people to know most about?
Probably the quality of the starting product. I mean, the flower, you can see the flower there. What goes in comes out. I mean, if
Okay.
you're starting with quality, you're going to get quality out.
So this concentrate, as you were telling me, and I'm pulling it out just to show it.
Yeah, so that's one of our distillate syringes.
Yeah, I really love this product. So this you just basically shoot on top of. You see this? It's like a little syringe.
Yeah, glass syringe, steel plunger.
And it has a tip on it. I'm not going to take it
Yep.
off, but you would take the tip off and you would just. How much would you squirt? How much is in there THC-wise? This is pure THC.
It's pretty much pure THC. Yeah, there is some terpenes in that one. I don't remember what flavor I brought you.
That was
Northern Skunk. That's one of our bigger sellers. People
Northern
love that
Skunk.
one.
It's called.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I'll be
think you'll
skunking it
enjoy
out
that
in a
one.
little bit.
Yeah, you'll be all skunked up.
So how much is in that little syringe?
That's a 1 gram syringe.
1 gram.
Yeah. So that should last you.
So how much should I
little
squirt
while.
on? Like a couple of drops?
I mean,
I got to kind of play with it.
you're pretty experienced, so I mean, go to town. Have some fun. There's a lot you can do with that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was a slip.
That wasn't a fart.
No, that was me. That was
Yeah,
me.
and there's a little clip in there because sometimes it's a little harder to get out, and the
Yep.
clip assists with
I see that.
getting the
That's
the
very
liquid
clever.
out of there,
Little.
so it helps.
Yeah, that's what he's. There's this little clip you can fix. The plunger would slip right into there, and you would have more of a syringe experience.
Yep.
I will tell you all about it later.
So yeah, people fill cartridges with that. They'll refill their cartridges, their vape cartridges.
Well, I think I'm just going to throw it on top of the weed and the bong. Or
That's the way I do it. That's my preference. But I'm a flower guy, so
I
anything
see-
I can do with some flower, I'm
Well, let's
I'm
go-
in.
I have people dab it.
Yeah, people will dab that too. That seems a little hardcore for me, but
You know, I'm not really a dab fan. I mean, I know you can get. I don't know. I'm an old guy, and when it comes right down to it, I like the flower. And,
I'm with you.
And I like just an old-fashioned bong, or a joint.
Yep,
And I like to sit back.
the classics.
Right, let my eyes roll back in my head. I mean, and I smoke a vape when I'm out and about, and we're going to talk about that in a minute too. But you brought me 3 different kinds, and thank you very much.
Yeah.
This will not go to waste. What makes your flower better?
We're all organic, so you're getting very clean flour from us. We don't use any nutrients. It's all living soil that we use.
What's living soil? Talk to me.
All the organisms are in the soil, so everything that the plant needs to thrive is in the soil. So we're not adding anything in there.
How do most growers do it? Does that like you pay a price for that? Like maybe less yield because you go to the extra trouble?
We're actually seeing more yield.
That's interesting.
Heavier weights,
Yeah.
a little lower test results.
Yeah, we're
You're
seeing
not, you're not adding nutrients to build.
to boost it. Yeah. So we've seen a little dip in the THC content, but as far as quality goes, it's amazing.
You know, who the hell sits there and monitor? You know, so you take two hits instead of one. I mean, you know, all right. 3, 4, 5. I mean, after you smoke a bowl, you're going to be wasted. It doesn't, 28%, 18%. You're really not going to notice the difference. I don't give a shit, really.
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm gonna smoke another one regardless.
Let me ask your opinion, because this sample that we're going to smoke, by the way, after we go to the cutaway, okay, this is an indica. Do you really buy the indica sativa thing, indica in the couch sativa, blah, 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 or do
I don't know. Part of me thinks it's placebo, but it doesn't affect me personally. I don't get a difference. People are like, "Oh, does that sativa really get you jazzed up?" Or no, I don't notice any difference. Indica, sativa,
neither do I.
it doesn't seem to affect me.
If I'm sitting on the couch, no matter what I smoke, I'm gonna, nestle down a little bit more. But if I'm up doing things, you're just normal.
That's what I think, too. I don't notice any difference at all. So why do people – why even – well, I guess you have to identify what you're getting. I guess that a lot of people, they believe whatever they want to believe. But
Right.
really, it's all good, right? It's just
Yeah.
all good.
Yep.
I have to tell you, I smoked the blunt you gave me,
Joint.
joint.
We have blunts too.
We got blunts too. Yeah. I didn't bring you one.
It
I
was a
should have.
big fucking joint you gave me.
Yeah, 1 gram joints. So there's 2 1-gram joints in there. That's how we
That
do
was a
them.
big
It's
fucking joint.
It's our traveler pack. It's good for on the go. It's got the matches and then everything in there. So
The matches – oh, that's good because I didn't bring a lighter. That's absolutely perfect.
perfect. Yeah. So we'll
Perfect.
be able to utilize.
We'll get to that in a
everything.
minute. Okay. Well, let's keep on the smoking thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So then we got our little vaporizer there. That's our core cloud. It's 1 gram.
battery.
It's also a distillate product, but we did recently come out with a sauce pod also. So you're getting more of the actual terpenes from the actual plant.
Tell me what a terpene is.
It's just the flavor, basically. I mean,
Is it so? When I'm like I took a little drag of this before. And
Yeah.
it tastes like blueberries.
mm-hmm.
Is that blueberry because you added blueberry flavor, or is that blueberry because you formulated the plant?
No, it's the terpenes.
It's the terpene.
It's the terpenes, yeah. So majority of vapes are all distillate products, and then they'll add the terpenes to it. And that's what's going to give you the flavor.
What gives you the cough? And I didn't get a cough with you, but there is a brand that is widely sold by a very large dispensary that I will not mention either product because I just don't do that. But it gives me I'm an experienced smoker and I get the hack. I take it. I feel it right away.
Yeah.
Burning
What
in
am-
your throat.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
am I? I won't say the brand. You both know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
It's a big brand that's around a lot. What is in that has given me? I don't buy it. I just don't use it.
Yeah,
But-
well,
but
your body knows. Your body knows what you
What
should
is
be
it though?
buying.
I mean, no, seriously. You guys are growers. You guys are formulators. What am I getting that is not working
It's
for me?
The temperature of vape, so it's got to heat it up to get the oil and the terpenes and everything. If the temperature is too hot, it's going to burn the terpenes,
Which could cause that.
which gives you the in the back of your throat that gives you the cough.
So-
it's burning them. If they burn it at a lower temperature, it tastes better.
So when you have an adjustable battery,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I have one of those too, so should you start setting it at the lowest setting?
I run mine generally on the lowest.
Yeah, I find
Me
I get an
as well.
easier drag too.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I'm
But it's still that particular brand still gives me the coughs. At
On the low one, yeah.
Yeah, on mine it says 3.3 is the lowest I can go. Up
And
to 5.
maybe you need to use one of the regular Jupiter batteries. It probably burns at a lower temp than your adjustable one. Even on the lowest setting, it probably still burns lower.
I'm just going to skip that brand to be
But yeah,
perfectly
there's
honest.
plenty of other great brands out there.
Because there are other brands out there that you don't sell. I'm not going to, and again, I'm not going to talk about it, but there are other premium brands, but they don't bother me as much.
And it could also be the quality of terpenes that they're using, because there's
Who
levels.
provides terpenes?
There's a bunch of different terpene companies out there,
And they're all made from natural products?
generally.
Okay, cool. Now, we come to the edible drinkables.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I can't wait to get this. This is Keef Bubba Kush root beer. Okay, I'm going to make a float out of this. This has 100 milligrams. If you guys haven't, and I know a lot of you have, but just for the broad crowd, drinking THC works a lot faster than eating THC. For me, it's about 10 to 20 minutes, and I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, it'll get into your bloodstream a lot faster.
Can you imagine how delicious it? And I'm going to find out tonight with vanilla, a good vanilla ice cream floating in a root beer float.
Just pour that in that whole tub of ice cream.
Am I even going to taste the cannabis in this?
No.
I didn't think so.
Remember, because you have what was it?
100 milligrams.
Dementia.
Dementia. Yeah, I have. Thank you.
Ice cream, and then you're
Yeah, I
gonna
have
be
my
high
ice
with
cream
it, too.
dementia, plus brain freeze. And then the other one you brought me here was Orange Kush, which is Orange Crush, which I think would also be great with vanilla ice cream, because it would be like a dreamsicle,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I got to tell you, of all the because it's exploding, right? And I see these products all the time. You see these products all the time. I like the liquids best, just from the standpoint of my personal use.
Yeah.
Edibles, I have a slow. You guys, I'm sure these are great edibles. You brought me some.
I think you're going to like those ones a lot. They're a little different than most other edibles.
Tell me.
You're going to get more of a sublingual hit with those. So you're going to chew on it and suck on it more than you would just like kind of chew it a couple times like a gummy and then swallow it and let it digest.
Gummies sometimes don't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I've stopped with the gummies. I find them very inconsistent. I'm sure they're reporting the right amount of THC. I'm not going to call anyone a liar, but I've eaten 250 milligrams of gummies and not felt anything beyond a slight buzz.
At least gummies are good.
Yeah, the gummies are good.
Yeah.
They taste good.
Yeah, but if I wanted that, I'll buy a 99-cent box of
Yeah.
dots
Yeah.
at Walgreens
Yeah,
in the bargain bin. I don't have to buy $45
$50,
gummies. I get the veterans discount, but it isn't that good.
Yeah.
So
But no, the sublingual hit on those, I think you'll notice a big difference compared to other edibles.
Oh, and this is a
I
500
think-
milligram. So I'm going to get 100
100
milligram.
milligrams per candy, yeah.
I will not be eating that here because I will not
Wait
be able to
till
drive
you get
home.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more like a starburst or.
Yeah, something like that.
This
More
is-
of a
This is cherry.
chew.
This
yeah.
is black cherry.
Black cherry, yeah.
I love black cherry.
Perfect.
My two favorite ice creams, as I told you, were mint chip and cherry Garcia. Yeah. My always wonder was how Jerry Garcia lived as long as he did. When he died, I thought, what took so long? I mean,
Ice cream.
a lot of heroin. If he smoked more weed and did less heroin, he'd be alive today. Just saying, Jer.
Him and Betty White.
Okay, now it's time to party a little bit. Since we don't have an ashtray,
Hey.
we're going to
Done
use
with
my.
that drink? Oh, cool. We'll use your
Use the
lid.
cup
I
lid.
was like, you still got a lot of drink left.
What's that?
Close out the show,
Oh,
and then
you want me to close? Okay, I guess I have to close. All right. Well, how was I going to close that? How was I going to close out the show today? Wait a minute. What was I going to? I was just going to say close. Okay.
You're listening to The Silver Stoner Show.